And welcome back to the IWAR Network Tubecast. I'm your host and NWL Commissioner, Alex G. Along with me, as always, IWAR Commissioner, Matt Riley. How you doing tonight, Matt?
Damn tootin'.
Indeed. So today's topic will be the July cycle in review. Lots of great things that went down this cycle, and we're going to go through each league individually. So first up will be the BRL. So champions are as follows. We have superstar Rick Riley with the league.
Woo!
TV champion, we have Jury. Atlantic, we have Chief, Bold Gray Fox. Central, we have Manly Power. Dixie, we have Bruce Scott. Eastern, we have Magnus Ver Magnuson. Mountain, we have Queen Isabella. Northern, we have Jane the Vixen Red. Pacific, we have King Ferdinand. Prairie, we have the Product of Arrogance, #1. Southern, we have the Enforcer, Eric Davis. Western, we have Dirty Dave Taylor. Tag Team, we have Product of Arrogance 1 and 2. TV Tag Team, we have Rugged Rick Ross and Wild Man and Jack Spade. Six-Man, we have Elliot Bonebreak, General Bob Rockbone, and Jerry. TV six-man, we have Dirty Dave Taylor, Rugged Rick Ross, and the Wild Man, Jack Spade. So, Matt, what's going down at the BRL?
Well, the BRL has a lot going on, actually. We just had the last cycle of the 3-cycle series for BRL TV for Impact and Genesis.
Nice.
Those results will be pending, but I can say a couple of titles changed hands. So we have a new global champion in Ghost Lee Shadows, who defeated Seno Lucha.
Very nice.
Yeah. We have new global tag champions as Blood Money. Hot Stuff Adam Cash and Fatty the Butcher defeated the Suburban Hell Savages, Agent 26, and Punk Rock Mike.
Nice.
So Punk Rock Mike and Agent 26 lost the titles. Now they go back into the mix, and we will be... I'll discuss the little changes in a second as far as the BRL TV show pictures change. And Dick Jackson miraculously retained the IC title. So he is still the Intercontinental Champion.
That old-timer is still around?
He is. I haven't figured out yet who his next opponent is. I got to do the math on that tonight, probably. Oops. And let's see, what else? Battle Royal went to the Enforcer, Eric Davis. So he enforced that title.
Sure did.
And I will say, if you look at the results, you can see that Jane the Vixen Red, dressed as a giant witch, cut the head off a frog. So that's pleasant.
The frog being Sir Gunter Kinderwalk.
Of course.
Yes.
Sir Gunter. I don't know why. Whatever. It's fine.
I think.
So, yeah, BRL-wise, the activity was up again. That led to Rick Riley won the league title with a 498. And we had 101 cards. And I'd say probably about 40-odd wrestlers in the Battle Royal, maybe more.
Yeah.
It's been a strong showing. Actually, probably more than 40.
Phone book size TT.
Right.
Jesus.
Yeah, the TT is still strong. And, of course, you're always welcome to join in. I'd say one of the biggest changes was the Kardashian family got rebooted, and now they're the Spanish family. Queen Isabella, King Ferdinand, and so forth. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
There's definitely a whole lot of different possibilities that Matt can do with those. It all depends if what direction he wants to take those guys.
Right. So
maybe they could be time travelers, or they could be mental patients, or there's a whole lot of things you got to do.
Yeah.
In addition, we have Luther Alexander attacked by Rude Duty, and there was duty all over Luther's face.
Oh no!
I gotta say, I know we had an episode talking about how to do a babyface sneak attack, trash talk, and I think Rude Duty's TT this cycle, his trash talk, is exactly what we're talking about. I think it's perfect.
All right. Well, I will mention that the IWAR Ladder Match Battle Royal took place. We had a Magic Bash this cycle, and that was the main event. And it came down to the results are cut off in the IWAR, so whoops. And the final two were number 2, and Black Predator. So they will be going to a playoff to see who gets the IWAR title shot. But
Nice.
they will split $80 in IWA credit. Good for them, 40 apiece. Spend it in the BRL, guys. And by the way, BRL, when you're doing your matches next cycle, also won the IWA's 2-for-1 deal for the highest average strategy. So active, competitive, tough. And we will also announce that the Johnny B Cup launched this cycle, and we can go over those results quickly because they actually impact all 4 leagues. But this was a 64 wrestler tournament, and in honor of time and money, I got everybody in there, so did the best we could. First wrestler on the waiting list was Rick Riley, so he got the last slot, and good timing for him. So the first round results are as follow. BRL, Sir Gunter beat El Barbaro. Number 6 defeated Tommy Challenger. Rude Duty lost to Bagman Jimmy Henchman. Adam Cash lost to Zach James in a measure of revenge for him. John Body lost to Chief Bold Gray Fox. Agent 26 lost to Mirrors. The Enforcer Eric Davis defeated Bobby Bedlam. Ghostly Shadows took down Senor Lucha. So the next round matchups are Ghostly Shadows versus Eric Davis. Mirrors versus Bold Gray Fox. Zach James against Jimmy Henchman, and number 6 versus Sir Gunter. And that was the BRL's bracket. We can go to each bracket as we go along. But that's that for BRL.
I definitely want to shout out the Noble House's trash talk this cycle because I found it very innovative. Basically, he put pictures up. He put 3 pictures and then a name outside of a garbage can, and then a who's next with the IC title in the garbage can, and then basically a pad with a hit list on there. So I thought that was really innovative and something a little bit different that we don't see. So I like that. So good job, guys.
Yes, wait a minute. Superstar Rick Riley's on that list. My God. Oh, no. What did I do? No, they're beating down Rick Riley. That poor guy. I'm telling you, beating's the way to go.
Yeah.
Whenever somebody gets beaten up, they do pretty well.
And I think that's all for the BRL. Next up is the CWL. So Unify, we have Carlton Cornelius Wardolph. Streaming media, we have Harry Hoodstar. United States, we have Big Joe. Yukon, we have John Body. Caribbean, we have Fleetwood Statler IV. Amazon Basin, we have Fergus Brennan. British Isles, we have Goliath O'Brien. Arabian, we have the Tyrant, David Hammerhead. South African, Clark Pierpont. Siberian, we have the Forgotten Vagrant. East Asian, we have Battling Brian Kelly. Oceanic, we have Victor Von Schnapp. Unified, we have Milton Snodgebuster and Pokey McSnail. Streamer Media, we have the Wildcard Garrett Shadowstar and the Tyrant David Hammerhead. Unified 6-man, we have Jive Turkey, Joe Ice, Fat Williams. Streaming Media, we have Deadly Medley, which is an awesome name. Baron Von Ruxpin and Hurley Race. So I hope everyone read their copy of Dynamite because I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah, it was a good copy. It was also kind of nice to see. I was talking to Andy about it. It was a little bit lighter than normal, but it didn't lose any power.
Yeah.
I'll also say that if you didn't know, at the Wrestle Frenzy 2 pay-per-view, Victor Von Schnapp defeated Ethereal Guardian in his retirement match. So Ethereal Guardian will be retiring officially this cycle and going into the IWA Hall of Fame.
Very nice.
And I will say that you may have seen some more, speaking of innovative trash talk, documentary-style approach to the opening of that show was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Definitely. And I will say, it's kind of nice for me just to have a little bit of shift in attitude for the league, because now Victor Von Schnapp is a full-fledged good guy. So we'll see how it goes.
So did any one particular wrestler stand out to you this cycle?
Well, in the CWL?
Yeah.
Let's see. Well, I liked what Brian Kelly did, as far as his work in the report, like the way they introduced him again, if you will. Repackaging. I guess we're going to see Battle Royal Challenge. I actually enjoyed the Battle Royal Challenge in the league, but I would say that I think overall the league's kind of in a good spot. Like if you want to bring your wrestler in and kind of have a chance to kind of add some flavor to the league, it's really a good time to do it.
Yeah. So definitely, guys, if you guys are interested in going over, make sure you spend that dollar. Check it out because I think they're doing some really awesome stuff over there right now. So I would recommend this league to everyone.
Yes, everyone.
Everyone.
Did you have anybody you thought was particularly outstanding?
I do enjoy the Problem Child and Che Guerrero stuff. Again, that's a feud that dates back from the NWL.
Yes.
So that's always good to see. I'm curious where that's going to go. I think Mike Mason did a fantastic job this cycle as well. So, good job with that. Like the whole Mason and Pierpont thing, I think is really interesting, and I'm curious to see where they go from there.
It's a bee's knee, see?
Bee's knees.
All right, so as far as the CWL's bracket of the Johnny B Cup went, we saw some exciting action here, and due to BRL spillover and fewer signups in certain leagues, there were certain wrestlers from the BRL that spilled into other leagues. So the BRL bracket, if you will, or portion of the CWL bracket, saw Frank Leatherman Snow defeat the Saskatchewan Sasquatch, and Superstar Rick Riley defeat Punk Rock Mike. In the CWL side of things, Carlton Cornelius Waldorf defeated Mike Mason. Hazard defeated Barry USA Stevens. Victor Von Schnapp, lost to Forgotten Vagrant. Harry Hoodstar beat Doug Gavilon. Che Guerrero beat Dragon Master. And Clark Pierpont beat Clyde Cosworth. So your second round matchups, Pierpont versus Guerrero, Hoodstar versus Vagrant, Hazard versus Waldorf, and Snow versus Riley.
Very nice. Next up, we have the IWL. So league, we have Shotgun James Carnage. TV, we have the Dungeon Master, Redward Snodgrass. Appalachian, we have Scotty Flash. Coastal States, Primetime, Alex Styles. Deep South, Triple X, Extreme Xavier Jimenez. Great Lakes, Texas, Jesse Tombstone. Great Plains, Van Death Valen. Gulf Coast, American Justice. Mississippi Valley is Koenig. Pacific States, it's Great David. Rocky Mountain, we have Rowdy Reskingini. Sun Belt, we have Haruki Fuji. Tag team, we have Van Death Valen and The Shadow, Tony Lowen. Tag team, we have Alex Styles and Dylan Matthews. Six man, we have Alex Styles, Xavier Jimenez, Dylan Matthews. And TV, six man, we have James Carnage, Blackjack Robertson, and Jesse Tombstone. So what's going down in the IWL?
Oh, well, I'll tell you, unfortunately, the RX. There's a lot going on. Revolution Extreme continued to push the boundaries of good taste.
As always.
By challenging members of the league to respond with trash talk last time. And I was thinking we'd see a lot of vocal response. Did not see much response at all. It was an interesting thing by the Endgame brothers doing a spoof of Ali Atari to draw his ire, I guess.
Yes.
Scotty Flash continued to say he would get back at Cowboy Jim Spur for turning on him and threatening Luther to beat him up.
Yep.
Lucha is still trying to get the good guys to rally up and go against Revolution Extreme. Steve Chambers still trying to pummel Felix Buenaventura. Jim Spur got arrested at McDonald's for not getting a Happy Meal. Snodgrass is back as the IWA Heavyweight Champion. I will say that we had RX Atari and Luther trying to invite in two wrestlers into the fold, Crimson Grim and Creed Michaels. We will see if that works or not. And should be noted that the IWL's Crimson Grim won the Four Corners Invitational from the CWL, the inaugural, to win $1 million imaginary and free matches and an IWAR title shot. So congrats to Crimson Grim on his big win.
Yeah.
And if you have heard about the IWL's Fortune or Fired, it starts next cycle. Oh, I'm sorry, one cycle left to announce. So if you announce by next cycle, send in your trash talk if you're in the IWL and announce you want in, what's going to happen is everyone who's in the Battle Royal will become part of this that wants in is in it. And the top finalists will get into an 8-man battle royal, and the top 4 will go home with a briefcase. Each briefcase needs to hold something different. One's a heavyweight title shot. One's a heavyweight tag team title shot. One's an American Territories title shot. And one is a IWL pink slip. You're fired. You're kicked out of the league. So, there's the drama and excitement of the IWL for you. And now, the IWL Johnny B. Cup brackets. As follows. Creed Michaels lost to Extreme Xavier Jimenez. Night Stalker and Sasha tied. So I need to go to the Battle Royal. So I'll check that. Oops. That's the hard-hitting preparation we do here.
Prepping's for losers anyway.
Yeah. It's stupid and dumb.
That's why I have the edit button.
Yes. Looks like... Wow. Neither of them were in the Battle Royal? That's not good.
Coin flip?
Let's do a coin flip live right now. You got a coin?
Wait, do I sound like a wealthy person to you?
Spare change? Spare change?
I only carry around $100 bills, man.
Oh. All right, well, next up, Luther Alexander got defeated by Rowdy Restagini. The Great David defeated Eric Endgame. Koenig defeated Phantom Striker. Primetime, Alex Styles defeated Equalizer Marlon Briggs. Scotty Flash defeated Crazy Carl. And the Arabian Dream, Ali Atari, defeated Pastor Payne. So your second round matchups.
I found a penny.
What's that?
I found a penny.
You did, all right. All right, next roundups are Atari versus Flash, Styles versus Koenig, David versus Restagini, and a rematch from way back to their NWL days of battling. And finally, Triple X Xavier Jimenez versus the winner of the coin flip. So Sasha will be heads, Night Stalker will be tails. Fire away.
Oh my god, I dropped it on the floor.
Oh no!
It is tails.
Tails?
Tails it is.
All right, Night Stalker advances. So, there it is. Coin flip. All right, so there's our IWL bracket.
Now, I did want to bring this up. I don't want to be political on here. But what do you think of the American Infidels trash talk this cycle?
Oh, and IWA? IWL, rather? The American Infidels, for those of you at home, shows a assault rifle with American Infidel. And it says, in America lives Americans. Any minority from anywhere. If it wants to live in America, to work, eat in America, should speak English, respect the American laws. If they want Sharia law, then we advise them to go to places there that is the law, the state law. Americans not need terrorists. We want not grant them special privileges or change our laws to fit their desires. No how loud they yell Allah. Just remember, Allah can't save you from the infidel. Well, trash talk. So there it is. I mean, it's fine. I mean, it's establishing a character.
Yes.
It's something we don't hear. You know, we commonly hear at a Trump press conference or the like. I don't know enough yet. I actually don't even think I saw, unless that's supposed to be American Justice, which maybe it is. I don't see American Infidel.
Oh, he's not even here yet.
No, okay.
Flip the page, it says coming to the IWL. I think the character-wise is fine, but I think the one thing he has to have, which is either he's heel or babyface.
Yeah.
Because that's where it gets kind of murky. Well, the characters like that.
I can see that.
Like if he comes out next cycle and like does a sneak attack like Ali Atari and like beats the piss out of him, and then like where do you go from there? I don't know, because he's a heel.
Yeah, it was funny when I wrote Atari. I purposely wrote him as a bad guy, but not as like a USA Patui, bad guy.
Well, the same thing, and that's the same way I wrote Luther, as he's a Russian, but he doesn't use his ethnicity in a way to get heat, at least most of the time. So I'm curious about that, see how that does going forward. But
we'll definitely see unless of course the player doesn't show up again, which that happens sometimes.
Yeah, it does, unfortunately.
Interesting trash talk. Never heard from again. Well, there you go.
All right, so next up we have the NWL League. We have Big Blank number 1.
Oh boy.
TV Killer Clown. Atlantic Big Blank number 2. Central we have the Franchise Rex Rude. Dixie we have Poison. Eastern we have Chris Staples. Mountain we have Alpha Male XD. Northern we have Piper the Goofball Monroe. Pacific, we have the Creature Feature, John Campbell. Prairie, we have Marcus, the Monster Monroe. Southern, we have Rock Simpson. Western, we have the Patriot. Tag Team, Big Blank number 2, Big Blank number 1. TV Tag Team, the Franchise Rex Rude and Primetime Chris Staples. 6-man, we have Blank, Big Blank number 2, Big Blank number 1. TV 6-man, we have the Monroe family of Piper Monroe, Ulysses Monroe, and Marcus Monroe. Now, looking at this right away, are the Blanks the most successful 3-man group in the history of the NWL?
Well, funny you say that. That was the cover of the IWAR, and as timing would have it, they won big again, triple crowning it. I don't know if it's the second time they've done that or not, but they're really rewriting the record books in the NWL. As those of you who may not know out there, the NWL is the IWA's rookie league, and you are only allowed to play for 17 cycles before you're asked to move up and graduate to the big leagues, because you've learned how to play. Sometimes wrestlers do really well and do so well, like there's a guy called Lars Loki, way back when, who came in and just was crushing everybody. And Frank and I were like, oh, do you want to go to the big leagues? And he's like, yeah, I do. And he went up to the BRL and never won another title and was out of the game in 4 months. So it's a double-edged sword. Enjoy your time in the NWL. Once you leave, you don't get to go back. So enjoy it. I should mention as well, when you're in the NWL, that's for the player, not the wrestler. So if you transfer your wrestler out after 17 cycles, you can't create a new wrestler. It's for the players to go in and out. So the Blanks are on record-setting pace. They've just become they scored the most points for a 6-man team in NWL history. They're now the most successful tag team in NWL history. And the Big Blank number 1 is closing in on the 150-point margin. I think he's at 135 right now. So he is right there.
And who's the current holder of that?
The current holder of the most points ever earned are Jack Havoc and Crimson Grim. Okay. So
Grim's still doing well, as we can see.
Yeah.
Jack Havoc kind of vanished from the game.
And it's sad. He was a good
face
writer. He did a good job. When he was on a tear in the NWL, he was unstoppable for a while. Him and his trio, and then went to the BRL. And I don't know if it's a competition shock, but a lot of guys that do really well in NWL can't adjust to the difficulty of being in the BRL. Yeah. So it's important to take a look at the leagues and understand how you'll do.
Again, guys, it's super important to kind of gauge your expectations and kind of make sure that they're moderate. Right. Don't expect to go into any of these vets leagues, no matter what league you choose, and thinking win regionals every cycle or win a league all the time or tag teams, that kind of stuff. It's just not going to happen from you got to understand that every player that in these vet leagues are all super good.
Bastards.
Yeah, jerks.
The NWL results of the Johnny B Cup. So, AK-47 lost to Creature Featured John Campbell. Rock Simpson lost to Big Blank number 1. Durgan upset Neo Dragon. B.A. Fox upset Blank. Franchise Rex Rude defeated Big Bad Red Fox. Jane the Vixen Red defeated Canadian Crusher Jax Molson. Big Blank number 2 defeated Killer Clown. And Black Belt Jones upset Johnny Vegas. Quick side note, did you know that Creature Featured John Campbell is actually a wrestler in real life? If you picked up the latest issue of Pro Wrestling Illustrated, you'll see a picture of him on the inside of that.
Yeah. I got my copy, guys. I don't know about
Did you?
Yeah, I got mine.
That.
Yep.
You get it signed?
I was thinking about sending it out to him.
I asked the guy lying behind me, hey, you sign this for me? What? Yeah, but we're in the works of getting a exclusive interview with John Campbell.
Yes, we just have to set up a time and a place.
Keep on bumping.
I do want to go into the National Invitational Tournament real quick. We have Lope Dog defeating Natalie Bowen. We have Killer Clown defeating Alpha Male XD. Jerome the Bone Smitty defeating Lockdown. And we have the Creature Feature, John Campbell, overpowered Durgan. So congratulations, guys. You guys are on to the next round. Again, don't forget the winner will receive a shot at the National Championship. Okay, so we have our 2 out of 3 series. So this is match 1. We had Rex Rude and Chris Staples defeating Piper Goofball Monroe and Ulysses Monroe. For now, they're up 1-0 on the 2 out of 3. Again, winner of this contest will receive a shot at the National Tag Team Championships. In addition, we had the Patriot win the Willowwick Classic, and he will receive a shot against Rock Simpson this cycle for the Rising Star Championship.
Nice.
So congratulations, guys. Great job. Also, very solid TT this cycle in the NWL. Lots of new faces, so we definitely dig that. Anyone stick out in your mind this cycle?
I liked a lot of it, actually. The babyface element is good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed Billy Jack Novak's rap.
Of course.
John Campbell's, promo. Black Belt Jones promo. New sheriff in town. Neo Dragon, of course. We got a picture of B.A. Fox. Johnny Gruesome had an interesting promo. There was a heel turn. There was interesting stuff, Nikki Mulligan announcing that Neo Dragon's on the hit list. We had lots of trash talk from Johnny Vegas again, so good to see him back in the works.
Yeah.
I will say there was one part of the bulletin that was a little unexpected, and that would be something that needs to be addressed.
So you want to go into it?
Sure. So, as a general rule, the NWL is, of course, the IWA's Rookie League. So there's a lot of good talent in there. They're
very desirable.
Yes, and part of it is that they play where they like to play. We always tell them check out the game as a whole, check out the top leagues, the most active leagues, the ones with reports, because while you can see a report like on the IWA's homepage, you can see reports in the LNL, NBL, ECL, and of course the IWAR. If you go to the league, you're gonna get a better picture of what it's like: activity, competition, trash talk, names. Now we've had a long-standing policy in place that if people want to advertise for the NWL, that's totally cool, but the way to do it, there's a certain process in place. And that is to reach out to the commissioner, which is you.
Me. Hello.
Yeah. Not me. You.
Yes.
And contact him and set it up and talk about it, because if we know it's coming, or talk about details, you can kind of yes or no things, because
well, here's the thing: a lot of guys, when they start up their new league, they make a lot of promises.
Right.
And they promise their players the world, or they get these free matches and that kind of stuff. So what I like to do when people send me their pitches or their advertisement, I just want to make sure that they can deliver on whatever promises that they're made in this advertisement. The worst thing in the world for us to do is to have some guys go over there and they don't come through on their promises. The league sucks, whatever. They hate it, and instead of going back to another league that they know they have fun, they'll just end up leaving the game. And we want to prevent that at all. So I guess officially the NWL does not formally endorse the DXL.
Yeah, and it brings up an important thing to talk about: a distinction of trash talk. The DXL was created to give the game a uninhibited, if you want to call it, unsupervised free-for-all when it came to trash talk.
Yeah. What
that means is that player-on-player style of play was largely incorporated as the style to go with.
And from what I understand, I think all the TT was going to be emailed. So you could swear, you can do whatever you want basically in the TT, because they were not going to be published in the bulletin. They were, I guess, be emailed out. That's my understanding of it.
Yeah, I think that was the plan, but then they started trying to put stuff in the league, and then it kind of fell apart. Actually, I got a copy of the first couple of editions, and I will just say, as a critic, there's only so far a Mama Joke can go. Your Mama Jokes get old after about 2 cycles. But, it's a style of play where if you want to play player on player, and I always use the example of, you play with your friends like in a fantasy football league, right? And you give each other shit, and you're like, oh yeah, or you're playing a basketball league or an indoor soccer league, and you talk shit, right? Or, Call of Duty on the game, like one of your friends keeps running in circles and running into walls, and you're like, dude, you're terrible. In the IWA, the style of play is either one style writes for the character, creative side of things, the other side kind of writes for the player-on-player, shit-talking. The problem is the people running the DXL, the team that was originally together to do that, fell apart. And now one of the original 3 is back in control, trying to get it back together and kind of get the engine up and running again. And while I can admire that, sending in a thing like this out of the blue without talking to, it would be like as if we sent an NWL, or let's say IWAR, make it more realistic, if we sent an IWAR ad, if you will, into leagues that we didn't talk to about it, the commissioners would be rightfully pissed to be like, dude, what the hell? I didn't talk to you about that. Not that we, quote unquote, need to get bigger, but we're doing very well. But whereas the NWL cranks out a lot of rookies that play, and again, we tell all the rookies out there, and we're serious about this. Spend a few bucks, check the leagues out, see where you're going to play next, and if you like it, absolutely go there and transfer there. And anywhere, NAL, PKL, GRL,
NAL.
NAL, there's lots of leagues out there. I'm just naming off the top of my head some of the ones.
And you're not restricted to the IWAR. I just want to make sure that we're clear on that.
Right.
You're restricted to go. There's no restrictions at all, so you can go to any league you like. But if you're going to ask us and give us, if you want our opinions and you want to, our suggestions, then I know that's a different story. But you as a whole can go anywhere you like.
Right, and it's sort of like stable. Some people have written to me before and said, hey, I got asked to be in a stable. Because as it often happens, when a rookie comes out of nowhere to win a title, all of a sudden they fall up on everyone's radars for stables. And some stables, especially back when the stable war was kind of going on, and you had the Arrogant Empire on one side and Edge on the other, and people were just taking anybody with a heartbeat in a 495 plus strat and having them join their side. That was what was going on. So it always comes down to play the style you want to play. If you don't want to play a certain style, that's fine. And what happens is the Man Up League and the Steel Federation was trying to go to kind of bridge those two styles of play. And it didn't go too well for me because I had this funny idea that, okay, let's cross those wires, so to speak, and set up this feud that I thought would be fun. So the idea was going to be to have a play on an actual event in the game that played off the TT into a feud between wrestlers but players being involved. And what it was there was a few cycles ago, the world champion, the IWA champion was Masked Warrior 16. Now, Masked Warrior 16 was one of many Masked Warriors in this particular league.
There's at least 16 of them that we know.
Right. I think there's more. I saw Masked Warrior 22. And previously, before that, like King of the Ring was one of the Masked Warriors, so it wasn't like they weren't winning here and there. But in the write-up in the IWA report, the Masked Warrior 16 comes out, takes off his mask, and he reveals himself to be the LWL's Big Rye. So I thought that was kind of cheesy because it's sort of like a long way around to like, I'm going to flood the hell out of somewhere, get the IWA title, and then have the wrestler on mask and be one of my favorite wrestler. So I was going to make a spoof on it. So I had the quote-unquote, real quote-unquote, Masked Wrestler 16 show up in the Man Up League, and he was bummed out because right before he wanted to accept his award, he got tapped on the shoulder by his manager and sent packing and told, no, Big Rye's going to accept the award. You did enough for us. And I wrote Masked Warrior 16 as a hapless, lovable loser who was always getting cut out of his time for promos and, just sadness. You know what? Sadly enough, it didn't go over well with the manager of Masked Warrior 16 / Big Rye. He thought he was, insulted. And I got an email from IWA where he was all angry about it. So I was asked to change the wrestler's name or whatever. I was like, I don't care. Just drop it. Whatever. And I felt bad because I had talked to Jake Duvall about the commissioner of the MUL about, making this kind of a fun centerpiece to build off of. My goal was to antagonize Big Rye into joining the MUL and having the big showdown between Big Rye and Masked Warrior 16, who would then unmask as Hustaf Adam Cash, and hopefully lead into another feud. Sadly, bitterness and annoyance took over, and after a tantrum on the LWL message board, I was like, fuck it. So it's one of those things you think, okay, I'll get a player who seems to like this style of play, get him involved. And, some players just, they don't get it or they don't give a shit, and I'm not going to drag you to water. I'm done doing that. So the lesson here was, you know what? If you don't think a player might not like that style of play, don't waste your time. Just don't do it. Play where you want to play how you want to play, where you want to play, and if people give you shit, screw them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but to get back to the point of NWL, the players in the NWL, they get set a certain expectation with the game. It is up to you, the commissioner of the league you're running, to deliver what you promise. So if you sit there and say, we're going to have this, 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 and this, so the DXL puts an ad in the NWL, and I love the very last part of it was $12 minimum per cycle per manager. Well, that's not a lot of money per se, really not. But if it's one league, Yeah, that's cool. But I would say for $12, you better be delivering me a good damn product.
Yeah.
And if you don't, and I just know the track record of the person running the league. Most of us that play for a while know that track record. You've earned it. So it's up to you to change that opinion.
Yeah, definitely agree. And then you want to talk about the draft a little bit?
Yeah. So we got something special we're working on in the IWAR. And, actually, first, before we go, let me talk about one quick thing. The Morano tournament. The 19th Frank A. Morano Memorial Tag Team Tournament finals have been held. And the winner, Black Wrestlers Matter, Silverback Jack, and Black Predator defeated numbers 1 and 3 to win the 19th Morano Memorial. So congratulations to them. They would earn an IWAR tag team title shot if they weren't already the IWAR. Sons of bitches!
Are they one of the best tag teams to come around in a while?
Since the Von Schnapps, yeah. They're the best tag teams. So they came in and smushed the Von Schnapps, who finally beat them for the belts again. But now Pokey McSnail and Milton Schnauzbuster won the belts. So
I wonder how they do against the Blanks. That would be interesting.
Yeah, so congrats on the Morano for that. So, okay, so IWAR draft. So what is the IWAR draft? We had an idea for this a while back when we talked about the old WWE brand split, what worked, what didn't work. And we talked about doing it, but it was like kind of the logistics of, okay, how would you do it? How would you get it set up? So here's what we're putting in place. We're going to do an announcement. This is a little preview with coming the next IWAR. The next issue of the IWAR will have the rules. So this is going to probably be a little bit spotty, but generally here's the idea. Any wrestler that is in an IWAR league currently can declare themselves for the draft. Now what happens is this. If you declare yourself for the draft, the only rule really is whoever drafts you, you have to go to that league. So for example, if Clark Pierpont in the CWL declares for the draft, and he gets drafted into the IWL, he has to transfer there. Now, the transfer's free, so he can go where he wants. What we're going to do is the wrestlers who are in the draft are going to have a kind of internal competition. So what's going to happen is this. We're going to have categories of competition for a 6 to 8 cycle run. And it's going to be what wrestler earns the most stars, who earns the most money, who has the most wins, who earns the most points title-wise. So there's going to be different categories to compete in. And we're going to offer a prize for each category and then an overall prize for best strategy average, all the different things you can think of pretty much for measurable strats and such in the game. So what's going to happen is if you're active all those cycles, you're still eligible. So if you go inactive, you become ineligible. So you have to be active for all those 6 or 7, whatever, 6, 8 cycles you decide to be. So it's not going to be a year-long contest, but sort of like a race. So what we're going to do is also offer up for the commissioners a prize of IWA credit as well as the players. So the commissioners who put the teams together are going to have a chance to win IWA credit themselves between the 3 of them, or 4 actually. The only rule is that an NWL player, once they leave the NWL, can't go back, and no player can be drafted to go into the NWL. So it's really a 3-team draft, if you will.
Luther Alexander banned from the draft.
Son of a bitch!
He was banned from stuff.
But no, it's going to be set up in this coming issue, and we'll hold it probably within 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
The idea is to have the draft probably in the fall or October, and then we will have the transfers happen in December or January, probably actually December or holiday. So January will be the beginning slate, and then it'll be so many months after. And we could do it sooner too. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's more a matter of how fast you will respond to this. We did a poll on the IWAR Network page on Facebook, and if you're not a member of the IWAR Network, go onto Facebook and look up the IWAR Network, IWAR Network, and join now. And you'll see lots of fun things like posts from various commissioners and polls. And the poll we put up was: Would you enter your wrestlers in the IWAR draft pool? Would see them drafted to a new league for free? And there's prizes. I think the prize for the commissioners is more to kind of keep ourselves invested. But there were absolutely no votes against and 7 votes for. So it's going to happen. It's a matter of probably getting it all together. Some players wish to go together. Other players, we can make up tag team deals for that. But it's going to be fun. And we will have all the official rules in the next issue of the IWAR magazine.
All right, fantastic. I dig it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So, guys, we are rapidly running out of time. So, again, as a reminder, make sure you check out your IWAR Network Facebook page. Make sure you head down to the message board. Make sure to like this video and subscribe on YouTube. That helps out. Leave a comment, too, please. Again, if you have any questions, you can go right to the Facebook and ask your questions there. They will get answered immediately. Okay. So, for Matt Riley, I'm